The film opens in a vibrant nightclub where a young woman is dancing, smiling, and enjoying the night. A man approaches her and, after a brief exchange, convinces her to leave with him. But the scene quickly turns dark. We soon see her tied up inside a trailer, screaming for help. She's been kidnapped. We're then introduced to the film's main character, Brea, a sharp journalist working for the Sacramento Post. After her morning jog, she returns home to discover that the investigative article she spent months working on has been published, but not under her name. A colleague from her own company has stolen her story. Frustrated and heartbroken, Brea confronts her editor, Carl, demanding to know why she wasn't allowed to publish it herself. Carl claims she took too long and overloaded the story with unnecessary historical context. Readers want simple content, he says, and just like that, he fires her. It's a crushing blow, especially on her birthday. That evening, Brea goes out with her boyfriend John and his friends Darren and Malia. Darren, outspoken and tactless, mocks John's job of customizing cars. Darren is a coach, but his attitude bothers Brea, especially since John works hard. It's also clear Malia isn't happy with Darren, and John deeply loves Brea. He was planning to propose to her soon. But Darren, unable to keep quiet, spoils the surprise by revealing John's proposal plan, ruining what was meant to be a special birthday moment. Darren's outburst doesn't sit well with his girlfriend, Malia. Upset, she takes Brea to the restroom. From their conversation, Brea realizes that John might be planning to propose, but she isn't sure she's ready. She's just lost her job and has other worries weighing on her. Malia gently encourages her, saying John is a great guy and she won't find anyone better. She urges Brea not to push him away. Later, Brea opens up to John about losing her job. He feels bad for her, but they still manage to enjoy the evening together. After returning home, Brea breaks down in tears. John comforts her, reminding her that he's always there for her. The next morning, John surprises Brea with a gift, a car he built himself in his garage. She's overwhelmed with happiness. It's her dream car. They set off on their vacation, with Brea driving. On the way, they stop at a gas station. While John fills up the tank, Brea heads inside to grab a few things. There, she bumps into a man named Red, who quickly apologizes. Their interaction is brief, but something feels slightly off. Meanwhile, a woman named Kara is quietly observing Brea. When Brea heads to the restroom, Kara follows her in, clearly anxious and scared. She seems like she wants to say something, but a man outside keeps urging her to come out. Before leaving, Kara whispers, "It feels like the 4th of July." The cryptic phrase confuses Brea, but it hints that something is seriously wrong. She suspects Kara might be in danger, but doesn't know what to do. Outside, a group of bikers begins eyeing John. One of them makes a racist remark about his car. John tries to stay calm and avoid trouble, but the situation escalates. The biker spits on his car, and John punches him. Before it turns into a full fight, Sheriff Sally Marnes arrives and diffuses the tension. Brea joins them, and after a short chat with the sheriff, the couple leaves. But as they drive off, they realize one of the bikers is following them. The man pulls up close, shouting threats. Sensing danger, John speeds up, but the biker stays on their tail and may even be armed. Thinking fast, John makes a sharp turn, causing the biker to lose control and crash. Taking advantage of the moment, John drives off quickly. Though they've escaped, both Brea and John are shaken. They only wanted a peaceful trip, and now they've stumbled into something far more unsettling. Back at the gas station, we see Red again, now revealed to be the leader of the biker gang. He scolds his men for causing trouble. Drawing attention could ruin everything, especially if they're seen harassing tourists. Meanwhile, Brea and John arrive at their vacation home. The house is beautiful and peaceful, nestled in nature. It actually belongs to Darren, who usually rents it out. John had arranged this whole plan so he could propose to Brea during their stay. The couple spends some quiet time together, but later that night, they hear a car pull up outside. Unexpected visitors. It's Darren and Malia, who've arrived a day early without telling anyone. John is clearly annoyed, as he had planned to propose that very night. Darren apologizes, promising they'll leave by morning. The four sit down and talk. During the conversation, Darren gets a call. Bad news: the athlete he represents has been arrested. Frustrated, he turns to drugs to cope. Suddenly, a phone starts ringing. Darren comments on the poor reception in the area. But the ringing isn't coming from any of their phones. It's from a satellite phone inside Brea's purse. She's confused. The phone isn't hers. That's when she realizes something's wrong. Brea is confused. How did a satellite phone end up in her purse? Did someone break into the house? As she tries to piece it together, she remembers Kara from the gas station. It hits her. Kara must have slipped the phone into her bag, trying to send her a message, a silent cry for help. Brea attempts to unlock the phone, but it's password protected. Then she remembers what Kara had said earlier. Feels like the 4th of July. Thinking it might be a clue, she tries different date combinations, and one of them works. The phone unlocks. What they find is horrifying. The contacts include foreign numbers from various countries, and the photo gallery is filled with images of young women, beaten, bruised, all posing in the same helpless position. It becomes clear this phone is tied to a human trafficking ring, and Kara was likely one of the victims. Brea wants to call the police immediately, but since the house belongs to Darren, he refuses. He doesn't want to get involved in something that could damage his reputation. Celebrities often stay here, and any investigation could cause trouble. Instead, Darren accuses Brea of making the whole thing up, maybe to get her job back or to create drama between her and John, now that she knows about his past with Malia. Malia steps in, telling Darren to stop. She explains that she and John had a brief history before Brea came into the picture, but it meant nothing. Brea isn't upset by it, but tensions rise fast. Darren insists Brea stay quiet and not involve the police. Fed up with his behavior, Malia finally snaps. She ends their relationship and walks out. Darren, overwhelmed with emotion, snaps at John. Meanwhile, Brea tries to call the police and takes photos of the satellite phone's gallery with her own phone, making sure she has her own copy of the evidence. A short while later, there's a knock at the door. Brea opens it to find Kara, who urgently demands her phone back. Brea wants to help and asks how she found them, but Kara angrily insists she just wants the phone. She warns Brea, "They're going to kill you." Brea pleads with her to come inside for safety, but Kara refuses and storms off. Concerned, Brea, John, and Darren follow her outside. Just then, Red and his men switch on their car headlights, lighting up the area. Kara walks straight to Red, telling him she brought the phone and that it's with Brea. She looks relieved, as if she's done the right thing. But without a word, Red shoots her in the head. The three, Brea, John, and Darren, are stunned in horror. Red then calmly says, "I want the phone." Darren tries to reason with him, saying the phone is inside and only Brea knows where it is. They ask to go in and retrieve it. Red says nothing, and the group heads back inside. Once inside, Brea tries again to call the police, but there's no signal. Darren asks her for the phone, but she refuses. She wants to expose the truth. Who knows how many girls are still trapped? Frustrated and scared, Darren points a gun at Brea's head and demands the phone. Left with no choice, she hands it over. Darren then steps outside to give it to Red. As Darren steps outside, he notices Malia's bag on the ground and realizes the group has already captured her. Desperate, he pleads with Red to trade the phone for Malia's release, but Red, now holding the phone, coldly replies that they've already unlocked it, meaning they've seen everything. He can't take the risk of letting anyone live. Darren tries to pull a gun, but before he can act, Red's men shoot him dead. Brea and John, watching from inside, flee through the garage and into the woods as Red's men chase after them. In the forest, they run into the same biker who had harassed them earlier at the gas station. He attacks John, stabbing him with a knife, but Brea grabs a wooden branch and beats the biker until he's unconscious. The couple escapes again, terrified and wounded. They still have Red's phone, and they know he won't stop until he gets it back. Eventually, they reach a remote cabin belonging to an elderly man. Seeing their condition, he lets them in. John quickly uses the landline to call the police, while Brea tries to email Carl from the old man's computer, attaching all the photos as evidence. But the outdated computer is slow, and the files are taking time to upload. Suddenly, one of Red's men storms into the cabin. He first kills the elderly man, then attacks John. In the struggle, the computer gets destroyed, and John is shot. As the attacker turns on Brea, she stabs him from behind with a knife. John manages to grab the gun and finish him off, but he's badly wounded and knows he won't survive. Before dying, John tells Brea to take the old man's car and escape. After he passes, Brea is devastated. She finds the engagement ring he was going to give her and breaks down in tears as she puts it on. But she doesn't have time to mourn. She grabs the keys and heads for the car, only to be spotted by Red and his last remaining man. Just as they're about to catch her, Sheriff Sally arrives with a deputy, responding to the call John had made earlier. Brea feels a surge of hope, thinking she's finally safe, but that hope is crushed when Sally suddenly shoots the deputy. In that moment, Brea realizes the horrifying truth. Sally is part of the trafficking ring too. All of Brea's hopes vanish. Sally scolds Red and his men for how they treated the girls, reminding them that these women are extremely valuable. She's furious they didn't erase the evidence from the phone. A lot of money has gone into this operation, and to her, these girls are nothing more than product. Red assures her he'll take care of everything. He then drags Brea to a remote warehouse where a large truck is parked. Inside, several kidnapped girls are being held, including Malia. Red injects Brea with something and throws her into the truck with the others. When she regains consciousness, she sees Malia among the captives. The two break down, crying. Brea tells her that John and Darren are dead, which devastates Malia even more. A while later, Red comes to where Brea is being held. He starts touching her, maybe wanting to keep her for himself, to punish her for dragging him into so much trouble. He even takes off the ring John gave her. But Brea's hand was near a large nail. As soon as she got the chance, she drove it into Red's throat. He began to choke and struggle, giving Brea the perfect moment to escape. Then Red's partner attacks Brea. But seeing the chance, Malia, who was lying there, injects him with a syringe. As a result, the man also dies. Brea promises Malia that she will definitely come back for her, and then leaves to get help. Somehow, Brea escapes from the caves. She reaches a gas station. She enters the store, and the people inside are shocked to see her condition. Brea walks up to the counter and says, "Call the police." Then she picks up another phone and calls Carl for help. By nightfall, Sally arrives there. She tells the cashier that Brea has committed murder and that she will be arrested. As soon as Brea comes in front of her, Sally points a gun at her and threatens to shoot. But Brea gestures toward the nearby cameras and says, "Aren't you ashamed of selling women like this?" Sally replies, "Everything is for sale. I'm just a small part of the system." Then she arrests Brea and starts to take her outside. But just then, a full police squad arrives to rescue Brea, sent by Carl. The officers arrest Sally first, and then they rescue all the kidnapped women, including Malia. Brea starts crying as she remembers John. Sometime later, we see Brea back in her office. Carl tells her that this human trafficking case is about to become national news, but he also warns that the people involved are very dangerous and may come after her now. Brea simply says, "Let them come," and walks out of the office. In the end, we're shown this information on screen, and the film concludes.